Have you ever wondered why people are always purchasing the new iPhone? It's because of how easy it is. I worked for Apple for 3 years and there were some things that were incredibly obvious once you'd been there for a while. Purchasing a new iPhone is very simple. Before you are even purchasing it, Apple is preparing you for the sale. Every single night when you plug your phone into charge, it starts to back up the phone so that when you walk into an Apple store, you are ready to transfer your data to a new device. And before you know it, they're asking you what you're going to be using the phone for. They ask you how you plan on protecting it. And also if you needed a hand to set it up. They slowly pull out a small iPhone for you to pay. No checkouts, no long lines. You tap your card and magically a minute later, a phone arrives at you and your salesperson. Then they ask, would you like a case? And would you like to take a seat and help get started setting it up? And even if you say no to the setup, the self-guided nature of the phone is so easy your grandma who's deaf, blind, and techno-dumb can set it up in her sleep. And within an hour of purchasing that iPhone, you've got a new one that is up and running and able to be used with all of your information. Now, Apple know the key to this process is answering every single question that you have in your mind without you having to ask it. So that when you get to the store, the biggest question is what size and what color do I go for? Now, those unanswered questions are usually along the lines of, am I going to lose my data when I transfer phones? What happens if I break it? And is it going to be difficult for me to learn how to use and get set up? So these questions are usually answered before or just after the sale. I'm about to break down 3 processes that Apple do and how you can apply them into your business. The first one is reduce friction whilst purchasing. When you look at your business, the process that someone actually takes to buy from you should be incredibly smooth. For example, when I started working with online fitness coaching companies, I saw that they would get an inquiry, make a sale, they would go back and forth with the client, figuring out what food they can eat, what gym equipment they have access to. It took a long time for them to actually start training under their new coach. And it would delay the time that it actually took to get that person results. So when you look at your business, how can you reduce friction? Well, the way Apple does it is very simple. You walk in, you're greeted at the door, you're told where to stand, someone comes to you, they run through the options of the phone comes out to you, you purchase on the spot, and then you get walked to sit down at a setup table. And you leave using a phone that is ready for you to use. So in your business, how can you reduce friction? The way I've found success in doing this and with my clients is write down every single task that someone needs to complete to start using your product or service. From there, consolidate the tasks that are similar into groups. And if they can be broken down into a one-on-one call, a very simple onboarding form, or some kind of tutorial, start adding that into your service. Also, look at those lists of tasks and find out what the biggest time sinks are. That's usually processes that have the biggest delays, and find a way to make them more streamlined. And once you have those processes in place and as streamlined as possible, start looking for ways that you can automate, if not the whole thing, but certain steps along the way. It should be an incremental process. It shouldn't be an all-at-one try and automate everything. It's about figuring out what process is best for the customer and then automating steps as you go. What this process does is it eliminates the fat around your onboarding process and how you interact with clients. And then it leverages automation to smoothen out that process and experience for your client. The second is always inform the customer of the journey that they are on. Whenever you're in an Apple store, you are always going to be explained what the journey looks like from the employee that you're interacting with. They're going to tell you the next steps of every single process, no matter what. But this especially comes into play when you have broken your iPhone. When you walk in with a broken phone, you'll first be booked an appointment. You'll be told that you'll get a text message when you're 5 to 10 minutes away from your appointment being ready. You'll be informed to come back into the store, check in with the person who made your appointment. You'll be told where to stand, and then an employee will greet you by name in the location that you are standing. After the technician assesses the phone, they're going to walk you through the exact process of how it's actually going to be repaired. Not the technical stuff, just this stuff that matters to ensure that you know that your device is going to be safe in their hands. What this does, it starts to break down any concerns that the owner of the device may have. They'll be explaining how they take the display off, what they do after the new display has been put on, making sure that it's calibrated to the phone. And you'll be informed of a certain time when it's ready for you to come and pick it up. What I've learned from this is always keep your client informed. The reason why this is so powerful is because, believe it or not, we don't like surprises. We like to understand the process because it's incredibly reassuring to know that we are being taken care of. And what this could look like for you is understand what you're delivering to the customer, explain to them how you're going to be delivering the service, when it will be ready, and what will happen if anything goes wrong. And a pro tip, communicate with them the good things and the bad, because people like to know that other people aren't perfect as well. And And when you communicate the bad things, it allows you more time to work on what you're trying to solve without the pressure of meeting the original deadline. Once you understand this for your business, how can you create trigger points in order to keep your customers informed? For example, if you're a mechanic who does a lot of routine inspections, how can you set up a system that notifies your customer every single time a different area of the car has been marked healthy or needs work? That way, they're not getting any nasty surprises when they come to pick up their car from you. Number 3 is really obvious and it's really boring, but remain consistent. Every time a device is repaired at Apple, they are always instructed to polish the Apple logo and polish the display so that when the customer gets their device back, they're getting that brand new device feeling once again. Staying consistent with these little things are the things that really get people to say wow when they are interacting with your service. My experience was this was my local mechanic. When I went and got my car serviced from them the first time, when I came to pick it up, the tires had been shined, the car had been vacuumed, and the outside had been washed. And it has stuck with me ever since. These little things are often the small tasks that you know you should be doing or your team should be doing, but often are forgotten or pushed to the wayside when things get busy. But it's the equivalent of a little cookie on top of your takeaway coffee. There is a reason Apple is wildly successful. And as the famous quote by Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. People who succeed at the highest level are doing something different than everyone else. So the things that are different are actually just the little things done time and time again really well. I hope you found this valuable. It's a little bit different to what I normally do, but I think these processes are things that can be automated and that can really add another layer of excellence to your business. But if you have a business that is limited in its capacity because you don't have the systems to support it, feel free to book in a call with me below and I can have a chat to you about how I can help. But if you're looking to learn more about the automation side of things, I have a free course and free Discord that you can join through the links below, where you can rub shoulders with people who are doing similar kind of businesses to me and you can learn from us. Have a great day. Bye.